I would have loved to have this video out sooner, but whatever, let's celebrate doing it right now, because today we're gonna be reviewing some of your GoPro photos and sharing tips and feedback on how I think some of these shots could be improved, whilst also celebrating your epic work, because let's face it, loads of these photos are already super dope. Now, if you're new to GoPro photography or you're looking to improve, this is a video for you. It just might give you a few pointers, spark some inspiration for an upcoming adventure. Now, we're also gonna be giving away 2 Insta360 go-to camera kits, complete with accessories, selfie sticks, and all the things that you need to create some epic action camera content. Basically, we are rewarding our 2022 5 Flicks Challenge entries. If you missed the memo, you can click the link in the description and that will show you the launch video. Also, if you've joined the Discord, thank you so much for joining that Discord. And if you've checked out all the photos, or if you want to check out all the photos that were submitted, then there's a link to the Discord server in there below. Now, Anna and I have had the privilege of meeting a bunch of you guys on Zoom over the last few years throughout our Action Camera Masterclass. But this year, we're gonna be taking a rad group of 18 of you guys on an epic journey with us across Morocco.
Still got crack. Yeah. Still got crack. Still got crack.
Now that experience starts in Marrakesh. We're gonna make our way through the Sahara Desert and we're gonna finish it in Essaouira. There's a stack of activities littered right throughout those different places, and we still have space available. So if you would like to join us on this upcoming Action Camera Masterclass Workshop / travel adventure, then please click on that top link in the description to reserve your spot right now. Jump on it, they're gonna sell out pretty quickly. Let's get stuck into the review. Kicking things off with the family photos. Now, so many epic entries, but my favorite entry was from Scott Hoskins. So thank you, Scott, for entering this photo. Now, evidently this is his family Christmas lunch, and for my European viewers, maybe not the Christmas attire that you or I would have spent the last Christmas in, because yes, in Australia it is peak summer, which means a barbecue Christmas lunch. Think singlets, beers, board shorts, as well as lots of seafood. What makes this photo special for me, and what this whole category was about, was savoring these kinds of moments. And there's 2 sort of standout parts of this image that I really love. First of all, it's the composition. We've got that leading line looking down the table, seeing the entire family. The other area of the photo, which I think is super dope, is the stoke level. Like, people are smiling. It's not, Scott himself is smiling, so we all love to come together, sit around the table, and enjoy one another's companies and share stories. So thank you, Scott, for submitting this image. Now, there were loads of selfies that were submitted in the family category. Understandably, when I launched this category, I shared selfies myself. So maybe you took the lead on that one, but I guess there's a few different areas that I wanted to point out and how you could improve or even play around with your GoPro selfies. And the main part of it is to play around with perspective and the proximity that the camera is away from the subject, that being you, the family, whoever else is in and amongst that selfie. So for those of you that did submit GoPro selfies, thank you so much. For those of you that are looking to improve your GoPro selfies, we made a video up here, which you can check out. What that video shares and what that video entails is talking about the proximity effect from the lens. Next up is the POV category. Now, my favorite photo in this category was from Russ Mercier. Now, apologies if I'm pronouncing any of these names wrong. I'm just going off your handles in the Discord server. So some of them were like @cbomb19, some of them were like full names like Scott Hosking, others were Russ.Mercier. So thank you, Russ, for submitting it. Technically, I think this image would win a GoPro award, and I bet if you actually submitted this into the GoPro awards, you would probably see it in your country specific GoPro Instagram page. So I implore you to do that, Russ, because it is a freaking awesome photo. Now, something I really like about this image is that you adopted the notion of the POV it's like the object. It's like that, it wasn't your POV, but you were in the POV. It was the point of view of being at the beach in the hole. So much to enjoy about these kinds of shots. They're all about composition, and there's something we can all learn from in this. All the attention to details, the lighting was spot on. I'm saying like midday, that beautiful saturated, like, you know, beach summer vibe. The blues really come to life here, as well as the warm hues and the yellows in the sand. You see all these colors come to life. Now, if you're shooting on an older GoPro, something that I recommend that you do is to connect your GoPro to your phone to improve the composition of the shot. Again, this is photography. Even if you were doing this with your videos as well, just framing up and getting a good visual perspective as to what the camera is seeing is a much safer bet than just sort of, you know, going to the effort of digging a hole, putting the GoPro in it and hoping. Like, if you have the camera there or you have your smartphone with you, use it. If you have the later models, then I recommend using that front-facing screen. And when you are using that front-facing screen, frame it up so that it's showing you the entirety of the image capture as opposed to the crop. And you can do that quite simply on the back by just tapping a few buttons, and voila, you will be able to see everything in the front-facing screen as opposed to just the cropped version. But composition is super important in these types of images, and Russ, you've done an amazing job. So thanks for inspiring all of us. Love the image. Next up is night. Now, this is the category that I thought would be the hardest. Like, you guys absolutely crushed it. Now, for those of you who submitted night images, I'd love it if you could list or drop your camera settings in the chat so we can all learn more about this area. Now, when it comes to creating sharp night images, it's important that you keep the camera still. So using a tripod is the best way to do this. And something that I also have found to help aid in this is to also utilize the countdown timer. So setting the camera up on a tripod and using, say, a 3-second countdown timer is a really great way to nail your night photos. For motion images, you could also try and do something like Grant has done by mounting the camera to a moving vehicle or an object whilst going through different lighting environments. I think this is best achieved with manual shutter. So Grant, drop us those settings in the comment section below. We'd love to learn. I'd love to be able to emulate some of these photos. One-way ticket couple also absolutely loved the shot that you guys did, as well as the edit. I was really encouraging you guys to explore the edit. So those warmer tones that you guys created with your night image, yeah, hats off. They are freaking awesome. So great shot, guys. The next category was water, which interestingly, I think was probably, we had the least submissions in this category, which probably means to say that water is the toughest subject to shoot. Something that I think is super important to make sure that you're doing when you are capturing underwater images is to shoot closer to the water's surface. Like, the deeper you get, the worse the lighting conditions evidently become. So it's more difficult to get nice, clean, sharp images the deeper you go. It's also much harder from a freediving perspective. However, you can really uncover underwater landscapes, which are incredible. So for those of you that do have the strong freediving abilities, explore that. But for those of you that are snorkeling, closest to the water's surface or closest to the light source, which will be, higher up, that's the best place to capture great images, great underwater images. A few of you guys submitted dome photos. That's where you're creating the split 50-50 shots. They always look amazing. Some tips for that are shooting with that light behind you, so you're not getting refractions in the lens. Try and find environments that do have cleaner or clearer water sources. When the water is murky, it's hard to make these photos look really cool. So yeah, if you've got a European vacation coming up, well, that's the perfect time to dip on in and bring that action camera with you. Plenty of other videos that we've showcased and shared on this channel about shooting underwater. Click up here in the cards or down in the description below to learn more about underwater photography. But thank you guys for submitting in this category. Evidently, being an action camera was my favorite category of all the categories. So stoked to see all of your images that were submitted in this space. My favorite photo was from CBomb19. I'm assuming this is Chris. I don't know. Drop me a comment below with the settings that you use, but honestly, if GoPro haven't seen this image, they should probably share it on their main @GoPro Instagram account because it's worthy of it. It is straight fire. First of all, there's the reflection. There's that beautiful, the time of day, the blue hues being reflected both from the sky and in the water. And then we have the, it's an action shot. You're evidently wakeboarding, and yeah, it's just such a crisp image. It really makes me want to go out and experience more action sports. So When it came to this category, I saw oozing amounts of technical skill, specifically in motion blur. So there was two standout photos, first of which was the train shot from Millsy. I mean, I've got two theories about this and I'll get stuck into it in a minute. And the other motion blur shot was the skiing shot. That submission was freaking awesome as well. I think for the skiing shot, areas that the photo could be improved or just experimented with. First of all, the motion is amazing, so you've nailed the settings in capturing motion blur, but playing around with the angle of the camera in proximity to the ski pole, taking out a little bit of the pole can make this image just maybe a little bit more clean, a little bit more fun. The photo that Millsy submitted, I questioned this and I looked at it, and this is what I love about GoPro or photography in general. I love seeing an image which makes me think, hey, how did that image get captured? Like, how did they go about making that? So in terms of the Millsy image, my two theories are, it's either been, he's placed the camera in the middle of the train track after the train has gone, but I don't know whether he'd get that motion blur in that shot. My second theory is that the camera is set up on the track, he's on the side of the track, and he's triggered capture whilst the train is coming towards the camera. I don't know. Millsy, let us know in the comment section below how you got the image. It's freaking awesome, so thank you for going out and creating it. Other areas to address in the action category was mostly lighting and freezing moments. So those images that really stood out all had the best lighting. So ways that you can improve your imagery specifically with your action camera straight away is to think about harnessing light. I always say this. Find environments, or if you submitted a photo and you critically look at it and you critically assess it, or you're having another gander at it and you're like, oh, it's a bit of a cloudy day today, or on the day that you took that photo, maybe that's something that you could improve. Maybe it's just a matter of getting out on another day when you've got full sun, or getting out there when it's sunset or sunrise. These are little 1% that will improve your GoPro imagery. Thinking as well about freezing moments, that's something that I always find most impressive in action camera photography. It's how you can use the nature of this camera to the best of its ability, and that would be maybe shooting with a faster burst rate or capturing moments where action occurs. In terms of the giveaway, one of them I'm handing over to you guys, but one of them I wanted to personally give away to Scott Hosking. So huge round of applause, congratulate Scott, because when it comes to these challenges, the main reasons why we host these things is to motivate and inspire you guys to improve, to spend the time in going out and capturing photos. And this year, both Anna and I thought that Scott showed by far the most enthusiasm for the challenge, submitting loads of images across each of these categories and really getting the family involved to join him in his efforts. We love seeing your stoke, and we couldn't think of a more deserving participant, not only for the energy that he poured into the challenge, but also for the energy that he poured into the Discord community, commenting on other people's photos, and just embracing this challenge. So this one goes to you, Scotty. Thank you so much for all of your efforts in this year's or last year's 5 Flicks challenge. And the second one, what I'm gonna do is I've compiled 4 of my favorite images, and here in the community tab, it's up to you guys to head over there and vote. So whichever image you think is your favorite, just punch that thumbs up button on or click vote for it, is what I'm trying to say. Vote for it, and at the end of this week, 7 days from the publishing of this video, we'll go back, check out which one has the highest amount of votes, and that second Insta360 go-to goes to you. If you are keen to learn more about GoPro photography, then definitely check out the videos that we talked about in this video. And if you're also keen to join us in person and learn from us, and then make sure you click the top link in the description and join us in Morocco. That's it from us. See you guys in the next video. Jaya. Peace.